God bless this lady for her courage. We need more people like her.
Ms. Ugiri, thank you.
As a daughter of immigrant parents, I am ashamed of what the Biden and Harris administration has done to our country by opening our borders to all, including criminals who are wolves in sheep's clothing. Doctor, I heard you mention that over 115,000 people are missing in Mexico. I know. One of those people is my cousin, and all of my family lives in Mexico. We have to comprehend that the majority of those are women, and there's a word that is used in Mexico, and it's called femicidio, and that's called femicide, the act of being murdered just because you are a woman. It is unimaginable for us to think that alongside those seeking refuge are not the same people that are there to victimize them, and alongside victimized citizens as well. I have personally worked 3 cases within the city of Houston where little girls were targeted simply because they were young, beautiful, and vulnerable, and of course, underage. Predators have an appetite for children. And in all these cases, there was an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old whose mom is here today, and a 16-year-old freshman in high school. I'm gonna be the voice today for Maria Gonzalez, who is also a migrant. She arrived here and her father didn't own a vehicle. He walked to work. Her father is the essence of the type of immigrants we should want in this country. A law-abiding, hardworking man working for $7 an hour, 14 hours a day. He left that weekend and he told his daughter he was going to work. She had a cell phone. She was in the safety of her home. This migrant that came here as a child, crossed the border, was given to a sponsor and was only here 3 weeks before he decided to leave his sponsor's home, go to Pasadena, Texas from Louisiana, and he saw Maria. At one point or another, he decided that was gonna be his prey. He saw her father leave to work. He knew their schedule. He knocked on Maria's door. Maria, recognizing that it was a neighbor, told her father on WhatsApp on a voice message, "Hey dad, somebody's knocking on the door." And she said it in Spanish, "Papi, me estás tocando la puerta." Dad, is that you knocking on the door? Thinking her father had forgotten something. That was the last time he ever heard Maria's voice. When Maria went to the door, there's a little chain that we have in those apartments, right? When you open the door to try to keep us safe, that chain was not enough to keep this animal out of Maria's apartment. He pushed his way in and Maria fought for her life. She was 11 years old. To all of you, 3 little girls passing away may not be many, but what if one of those little girls was your daughter, your granddaughter, or your niece? Can you imagine them trying to fight off a grown man off of them? The shock of being undressed, the pain of being beaten and smothered, trying to fight for your life while a predator's one objective is to use them to satisfy their sick and demented appetites. Our girls deserve protection. Our girls deserve to live their life without fear. Our girls deserve to perish in a natural manner of old age. We live in a society where we have gained so much medical advancements that if you have cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, they will take care of you. But we're losing healthy children. And this case to me resonates because she's also a migrant child. And this says to me, we're letting everything through the border because we're not checking them. And you're victimizing citizens, you're victimizing immigrants alike. We're not against immigration, we're against unvetted immigration. And I want you to know, as a woman who has a majority of their family in Mexico that are not privileged enough to be in this country, there's no such thing as collecting DNA swabs. There's no such thing as embalming. There's no such thing as doing a real autopsy like we do here. Mexico and Central America is where predators thrive. You think they come here to this country and it's the first time they do this? No. This is just a place where we figure it out and we care about our daughters and we're gonna find out. Finding a little girl in Mexico that has been sexually assaulted is just a normal Tuesday. It's nothing unusual. So I want you to know, immigration is good. I am the living proof of that. My parents don't even have a speeding ticket. That's the type of migrants we want. But bringing them to this country, it's further victimizing what these same immigrants got away from in their countries. We have to have some form of check and balances, a real system to identify these criminals that are hiding in they're wolves in sheep's clothing is what they are. So I ask you, I implore you, close your eyes. I know you have a little girl in your family. Imagine somebody undressing her. Imagine somebody fighting her. Imagine somebody strangling her. Maria was so covered in bruises, I had to go and shop for a funeral dress for her to cover the damage that that man did to her. Maria lost fingernails in her fight, and she's a migrant child. Not everybody is the same, and we have to identify these monsters because, like my dad says, they're giving all of us good migrants such a bad name. We owe it to the migrants that are getting away from these communities, and we owe it to our citizens to offer them a safe society. People say, well, citizens kill too, but in these cases, all of these cases are migrants that cause this. And it's the failure of our policies by not checking them. Thank you.
Amen. Well said. Ms. Wonder, you're recognized.
Now, this is for anybody out there who thinks the president always needs Congress to fix the border. Please watch this.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked.
That's why today I'm beginning a new effort to fix as much of our immigration system as I can on my own, without Congress.
Come on, man.
As a first step, I'm directing the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Attorney General to move available and appropriate resources from our interior to the border.
What a mess, man. At this point, there's only one person who can fix this situation, and we all know it's not Kamala Harris. She already tried. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. God bless you and your family. Catch you on the next one. Trump 2024.